What's up, guys? Welcome to the Mashele Money Podcast. I'm Nelo Mokgotsi, and on today's episode, re bua ka botlhokwa jwa insurance to your personal finance and development. We're discussing this conversation with Yana, who's a YouTube channel host that is dedicated to personal development, navigating personal finance, and bossing up. She has like 7 years experience in the financial sector. Tune in.
Welcome to Mashele Money Podcast, where we're discussing everything money. So today we're talking about personal development, developing your personal finances. Renale Yana. If you don't know Yana, check out her YouTube page. She speaks about everything finance, how to develop yourself financially. Her page is called Boss Up with Yana. Yana, thank you so much for joining us, Mashele.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. Yana, before we start, we always like to give our guests an opportunity to introduce themselves.
Okay.
Please take this moment to do that.
Okay, great. My name is Yana. I am 30 years old and I am a YouTuber. Okay, I have a YouTube called A Boss Up with Yana, where we talk all things personal development. I would like you guys to please just give my YouTube, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and stay informed on all things personal finance. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. We are going through a phase in most of our lives. I remember now when I started working, that was 2008, and at the time, not only that recession, the property market, which was coming from the States, and then it affected the whole world.
Yes.
But we were not that affected. I mean, Botswana, yes, people who were retiring, their pensions were affected a bit, but generally, you know. So it's horrible. Even a guy who's cleaning the yard will tell you, or no, things are really bad. Oil prices are up, and all of those things. So what would you say?
Okay, first of all, oh, Guyana, you're reminding me just this weekend, I went to the shops to get a few groceries, and I was shocked at the price of bread. I was shocked, okay? So I think we can all relate in that life has gotten a bit expensive, and I think that's one of the contributing factors to why I decided to really start this YouTube channel, to just give people hope and give people a place to just have a platform where they can just be like, there's someone I can relate to, someone is going through what I'm going through, or someone I can aspire to, or that kind of thing. So my advice would always be, start where you are. Don't think I have to be earning a certain amount of money to start saving or start investing, or just start where you are. Even if you can put away just 100 bula a month. When you say 100 times 12 months, 1.2. That's 1.2 more like richer than you were before. Do you know what I mean? So start where you are, for sure.
Absolutely. We do training, Wake Network, and sometimes we train. So harna okay, there's this class that we train. We have different classes. So obviously we'll always customize our courses to make sure they fit that particular class.
Right.
And every time when we are doing training for let me just say low income earners, right? They're always defeated. When the training start, they look so deflated. And it even look, I'm only earning 1.5. I'm only earning 1.2. I mean, what can we do with the money? And then they mention all these expenses. There's absolutely nothing that anyone can do. So when you are talking about the 100 puller principle, to say, look, just put aside 100 at the end of the year, you have 1.2.
Exactly.
You are 1.2 richer than most within your class. Yeah. So, and then how do you, because nako nngwe o ithelela gore ga se kgang ya gore motho ga o reckless le madi.
Right.
Maybe gongwe indeed the money it's really low.
Yeah.
For most of the things that they have to take care of. Or maybe one in our budget listen then now with inflation, you know, doing an idea change,
Yeah.
you know. What other advice would you give them?
Okay. So I would say work on your talents. See what you are able to do. Pick up an extra job or two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll just using myself as an example. When I was in university, we got our allowance, right? But I was doing hair on the side. Like I'd have no shame in hustling. No shame in hustling. That's one thing about me. And that's the one thing I'll always encourage people. And I tell people all the time, look, if anything happens to me, let's say, God forbid, I lose my job, I'm starting a hair page immediately. Could I already have 1, 2, 3, plan A, B, C, D? That's just how I am. You always need to think ahead. I'm going back to doing hair immediately. Do you know what I mean? Whatever your talents are, work on those. But yeah, with me, for example, another thing, I have a dance company. I just work on what are your talents? And just develop those. And then another piece of advice that I can give people is watch your spending habits as well, right? Life is tough, so throughout the year you will spend mostly on, let's say, basics and stuff, right? Towards December, that's when people like to splurge a little bit. Minus splurging on maybe your kids, Christmas, going high, that big Christmas lunch, whatever your splurge is, right? Watch those habits. How about December? Don't release your savings in December. I always tell people, I think the best time to release your savings is in January. So you start the year strong. You don't start the year, December, you're borrowing. Don't start your year like that, because that's another thing that will defeat you for the rest of the year. So I think another example that I can give is my friends and I are Medica December, Medica January. So first week of January, and right then you start the year very strong. Yeah.
Hey, you know, we saw the Kanya December. I've been asked that question so many times. I like December as another journalist start calling, you know, but what what December?
Yeah.
and you know, something that I've observed December, you know, it's a very tricky month. There's a lot of excitement. Like the environment is just calling on you to spend.
Festive season.
You know, it's the festive season.
Yeah.
And I like your advice because you are saying, look, you need to know yourself first, right? Are you the type of person who can, you know, be indoors at Christmas, you know, or on New Year's Day? Can you be indoors and just chill and drink tea, you know, with the family, you know, while take out, right? If you know you are not that type of person, you shouldn't be having too much access to cash, because you'll be forced to spend, you know. I really like that advice. But I think when it comes to you know, personal development, because money has a lot to do with our emotions, right? Than the things that we know. I mean, I know a lot, but if I can tell you the mistakes that I've made with money,
I'm pointing at myself as well. I am pointing at myself. Yeah, you can have all the knowledge and still make mistakes.
Yeah. You know, yesterday I had a meeting with one accountant who also works as a finance manager, and you know, he was admitting the same thing, to say, look, I work for a financial institution, number one. I'm a trained accountant, number two.
Yeah.
I work in finance, number three. So and I earn relatively well. Right. So that's number four. Those are critical things that are required when it comes to, you know, discipline and wealth creation and all of those things. But I'm struggling, you know, because possibly they don't know themselves.
Right.
That is the problem. So are those the kind of things that you address on your YouTube page?
Yeah, definitely. I think let me just give you a brief background of how I started talking about finance.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a finance degree. That's what I studied in school. But I'm an artist. So I'm a dancer as well. Right? So as soon as I finished my finance degree, I was like, I'm done. I don't want this life. I'm going to go explore my dance life. I want to go live my best life in the dance world, right? And lucky me, I got my first gig. And my first gig was a huge gig. It was the Africa Youth Games. And it was televised. And I got to train with Somizi and Nohola amazing. And I was like, yes, this is definitely the life for me. And then it went down. After the excitement went down after that. The gigs are not as frequent in our country. I guess our industry was still growing at the time, right? Then I noticed that I was very unhappy because I felt like I was underutilizing my brain. Like I knew my capabilities, but I was like, I don't think I'm working at my best right now. So immediately I knew I had to get a job in corporate and I had to find a way to balance corporate and my arty side as well. And I did that. And that's how I then ended up having a YouTube channel. So my first YouTube channel is called All About Yana, where I showed all about me. So I was fusing two completely different worlds. That's finance and dance. So initially when I started, I really wanted to appeal to the artists because there's this misconception the arts world is not maybe for smart people. This like by the ads. And I really just wanted to clear that up. Like some of us just do it because we're really passionate about it and we'll make it work, you know. So that's how I started sharing initially. So I was trying to appeal to the dancers. I remember this one time I was in rehearsal and I was hearing dancers talk about credit. And I was like, oh, you're so misinformed. Like, it's okay if you don't want credit. It's fine. But the richest of the rich people have credit. Do you get it? So I was just like, I need to tell my people. If nobody's going to tell them, I'm going to be the one to tell them because at least I know that line of thinking. I just heard this conversation right now. So that's how I started sharing. So I was just sharing my life as a dancer. And people liked my videos. So then I started to show them a little more of like, okay, this is how I acquired what I have, right? So when I started showing that, that's when I started getting a bigger audience and had people now say to me, Bokari, teach us a little bit. Like, how did you get that? How did you get from here to here? So then I started just straight up. I just tell you straight up. I was working at this place, then I worked at this place, and then I worked at this place. And now I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be a little more transparent. So I had this Boss Up channel now branch off from my main channel. So when it branched off, I was like, I am going to be transparent because I want people to know exactly what's happening. So I showed people on my other channel my life when it was at its absolute best. I had bought a house. I had bought a car in the same year. I was living a really good life. I was traveling. I was having a good time.
The American dream.
And then do you know what I did? Huge mistake, and it went bloop. It went down. And I can't even explain to you what's going on with my mind. I don't know what's going on. And I said, you know what? I'm going on a personal development journey and I want to show people and then get back up. So that's where I am now to say, guys, it's okay. What to do. We still make mistakes. The main thing is to not stay down there. So I'm now documenting myself, working my way up to where I was and hopefully even further. So the main thing is you need to know self. I had to study myself, study my habits. Where am I cutting? And I lived a very fast life of like going out all the time. I'm at this restaurant, we're popping bottles. Come so plain, Joburg, fun, come back. You have to get up and be like, stay home. It's okay. There's food at home.
The Instagram life.
No, we lived a nicely chef.
Nice weeks on top restaurants.
Do you know what I mean? So whatever your situation is, obviously I'm just talking about my situation. Whatever your situation is, analyze it and then decide, okay, what do I need to just live? Once you work on that, later. It's okay. But right now, let's fix where we are so we can get to a better position.
You know, that's great advice. More especially because you are speaking from your own experiences. But how we hear from experiences or you're just saying, look, I know what needs to be done. I know that I was doing I was not doing what needs to be done.
Yeah.
So, but how about advice, right? More especially like finance. You know, you find someone
Yeah.
advice. You need to stay away from the so what they teach, they have done mistakes.
Right.
Instead of telling people the mistakes that they have done and how that needs to be addressed.
Right.
Since it did not work for me, then you need to shy away from it. So is that type of advice.
Yeah.
And then once I simola go bereka, you know, you know, this is how you attain them.
Right.
Kana mosadi e leng gore go ditse ke batsedi ba e leng gore ne ba reka sengwe le sengwe ba tsena mo dikolotong ene ha simola nna le bana ba sa batho go spendiwe le go telelelelelele a ba ruta bana gore no, you should not tshwantse go pay madi because bone nako e na gola ba kile ba gongwe ba gapelwa ntse ba gapelwa dionyana so go ga tenga bo sa motse sente, right? So ha tswa go watsa mare wa go ruta batho goreng madi a tshwantse gore a bewe tshwantse go itse gore e ne le makata di-match, but go sena any form of strategy of how people can actually live well and still be able to save and invest, because I think that's the most important thing.
Right.
All right. So ke batla go itse ka wena, you know, gore you've made your own mistakes. And when did you decide gore I need to find my way out? Like,
yeah,
you know, because a lot of people have it's like being stuck in the mud. You know,
right.
Hey.
So for me, I work, ne? And I like to see why I'm working. I want to see it. I'm not just gonna. I don't want to do that thing, guy, and every time, hi, good night. Hey, but hi, good night. I don't want to use those words anymore. So I just woke up one day and I said, I wake up every morning and I go to work. Yet, I like it, yo, hi, good night.
Yeah.
And then that's the moment I had. And then I also looked at my savings and I had cleaned them out, like finished. Nothing. I said, Bokaidi. Yeah, no. You know, when I use my first name, that's how you know I'm serious now. That's how you know I'm serious. Stop it. So yeah, I had to literally had a sit-down meeting and audit myself so hard. And yeah, I want to comment on something you said about credit. When you're already in debt, there's something that I saw the other day. These where they allow you to kind of consolidate all your loans in one. And I thought that was such a good idea. And I was like, actually, if someone would tell me right now, like, dude, what do you think I should do? I'm in trouble. I would be like, one more loan. One more loan where you consolidate all those in one. So you're only paying one person. That will hopefully free up some of your money so you can put aside just a little bit of money. So anyway, just a thought.
And guess what? So consolidation is a good way of restructuring your debt, right? But it tends to get abused. A lot of people they abused it. It's supposed to give you a breather. Okay, it's supposed to give you a breather, more especially if it's restructured properly. Or maybe you're consolidating expensive debt into a cheaper debt, and then maybe extending a bit of your term so that your repayments can be reasonable. I get it. But the idea is already pause. That will put you in a space where you correct. You only consolidate when you have realized you've been doing things wrong. I get it. Now we're correct. But people consolidate, but not intentional correct. You know what? I just want to consolidate that. Then you know, that's unfortunately that's what people do, and then they make it look like a bad plan at the end of the day.
Do you know what you're reminding me of? when someone maybe changes a job or gets a promotion or whatever, they get a bit of an increment and immediately they make a lifestyle adjustment. These are the things that get you in trouble. There's certain things that you just need to identify. Hello, Baba, this thing is trouble. And I guess that's another reason why people thought that some people have a loan hella completely, but really a loan can help you get ahead. If you use it properly, but you need to know how.
Yeah, it was actually designed for that.
Right?
to get you to the next level.
Yeah.
You know. But we are going for a quick commercial break. The main issue of insurance, which is also something Botswana are interested in, but they don't understand.
Right.
Yeah. So if you're just joining us now, Renale Bohadi, Yana, we are discussing personal finances. Make sure not to change that dial. Hi, I have a free gift for you. If you want to claim this gift, go to www.masheleng.online/gift. In this gift, you will learn how to become financially free in 5 years or less. And we are back. If you are just joining us now, Renale, Yana, and we are discussing personal finance. Right about now, before the break, Nerea Ubuaka insurance and its importance in managing your personal finances. Yes. Yana, before we went for the break, Nerebuaka insurance, it's one of the things that Botswana, they're kind of interested, but they just don't understand it. To this day, industry they have quite matured.
Yeah.
In our market, but it's about so how can you define it in a way or it's an ajang when it comes to matters of personal finance?
Okay. First of all, I will say, as quickly as you can, insure everything you own and your life as quickly as you can. I think it's really important when you have a way out of a very serious situation, right? So you own a car. If you get into a car accident, you need to know you can be indemnified for the loss that you've just incurred by that car accident.
Yeah.
And I always try and encourage people, honestly, if you don't have insurance, I feel like it can be a financial setback. Right? I will use myself as an example. I was in a really bad car accident where my vehicle was written off. Right? And every time I look back and I'm like, what if I didn't have insurance? Money for a new car. Or for example, I later got sued because of that same car accident. The legal fees. So just the little things like this, I genuinely believe if you have insurance, you are covered from a lot of ways or a lot of things that in turn can become like a financial setback for you. So let's try our best to let go of this thing, insurance. I used to hear this a lot when I worked in retail. Yeah. So I don't work in retail anymore. I'm speaking not because I work in insurance. I am speaking now hella as a consumer of the product and the way that it has helped me. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, you need that. Yeah. So in short, insurance is really a form of risk management. That's what it is. Yeah. So we are exposed to different risks every single day, and you just need someone to protect you if you run into any trouble. Yeah. So the whole point of insurance is really to protect yourself against the potential risk. That's the product that you are buying. You're not getting insurance so you can claim. Okay, I have to say that. The product isn't the claim. Yes. The product is protecting yourself from potential trouble.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I like how you define it. Also, that you are using personal experiences because you're insurance you know, when you've never gone through anything. I mean, you can read the books. I mean, they're fine. You'll understand what the principles are saying.
Yeah.
But until that's when you will really understand insurance. And I think, you know, for you know, when you are teaching people, it's you know, God works in mysterious ways. Right? Because so something will happen to you and then you will see the process. You know how you can work in insurance. You've been doing claims like Tabatu and stuff like that, but one you've never claimed. So you don't really know. You might not. This is real. The people have actually done well for themselves by insuring their assets and until claim So normally when I define insurance, more especially risk insurance, you are doing it to protect your mind.
Yeah.
Your pocket. That's why you are doing it. You are not really protecting the car because to protect the car, you need to be careful. That's how you protect the car.
The car, yes.
And stuff like that, right? That's how you protect the car. But when you insure, you protect your mind because if the car gets into an accident, you have to tap into your savings account, right?
You have to get a loan. Savings.
Right? You have to borrow money from people, right? Exactly. So your money is not safe.
Yeah.
Right? Basically, your money is not safe. Ellen and I have a story maybe similar to yours, but unfortunately for me, I was not insured, you know, at the time. I had an accident. It was a write-off for both my car and the guy that I hit.
Yeah.
And then I became in the accident, you know. I was young, drinking.
Oh boy.
For the accident, I admitted guilt. The alcohol limit.
Right.
So he went to do his claim, and he was working in an insurance company. At the time, I was working for an insurance company.
Interesting.
So after the accident, I don't have a car. My car is parked. And then after some time, I get a letter from his insurance to say, look, bro, this is how much we spent on our client, and we understand so we want to claim that money back. You know, you know, those guys are asking for between 80 and 90K.
Yeah.
You know, it was just a lot of money. I mean, I couldn't even qualify for personal loan, that amount at the time. I need a car.
You
know, and fortunately, I was not hurt. I could have been hurt also in the accident. Right? So multiplication problem. So Yana, you know, there are different types of insurance, and that is something that never really comes across clearly to a lot of people.
Right.
So how would you vary them in a way that insurance?
Okay. So there's personal lines and then there's commercial, right? So what I like to focus more is on personal lines because that's what affects the day-to-day person.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Personally, if you have a house, you need insurance on that house.
Yeah.
God forbid your house goes on fire. You know you have someone who will come and have your back. That's what I always say. I like to say my insurance have my back. Someone can have your back for that as well, right? And then your house contents, your TVs, the fridge, everything inside your house,
TV.
Your precious TV. Insurance can help, right? So insure everything in your house. Under contents, there's a product called All Risk. That one is for your cell phones, your gadgets, the ones that move around.
Yes, the
Those,
iPhones.
your iPhones.
Yes.
They need to be protected from all
Yes.
risks. That's why it's called All Risk.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Maybe you are driving, someone breaks into your car, takes your phone, or Mahodu, I take you, they take your phone.
Yeah, there's a lot of smash and grab
going on, right? That kind of thing. That's where that will come in. Your gadgets, camera, or maybe you're on vacation, taking pictures, someone runs, grabs your camera, soup, gone. Just imagine. Yeah, so that's where your gadgets will fall under the all risk policy. That's another one that I'm always like, make sure you have that. It's really, really important, right? And then we're going to move on now to your motor insurance. So in motor, comprehensive, there's third party only. Make it comprehensive. Okay? So third party only means you're just protecting the other drivers on the road.
Yeah.
What about you? I feel like you need protection as well. So comprehensive means you're protecting yourself and third party liabilities. So I always say just make sure it's comprehensive, knowing you'll be covered, and God forbid you do anything to anybody else's property, not just cars. They will help, right? So those are the main ones that I think we all need.
Yeah. Like in developed countries, you find you can't get into a car without insurance.
Yeah. And the police will stop you and ask. They'll say license and they'll say insurance.
License and insurance. Yeah. You know, the I'm just waiting for the day when my police more local, you know, license and insurance. You know, license, you don't have insurance, but you are busy driving in the streets. If you don't try to speedy, and my producer had an incident this past weekend. He lost the phone. I don't think the phone was insured.
Oh boy!
So nearly the smash and grab. So you know, you think about your finances. I remember nowadays I don't lose phones. I don't lose phones anymore. I used to lose phones a lot.
Yeah.
So it's already every other 2 months or so.
You know, high risk. High risk.
But at the time, you know, we didn't even insure this content. So you lose a phone. More and it will be like, okay, well, it was 1,000. Multi-channel phones are a bit more expensive. Back then, they were not that expensive. Well, 1,000 was a lot of money still, but it was not as hectic as like smartphones and stuff. So I will lose a phone every after 2 months, and then how to
2 months.
Yeah. Every after 2 months, you lose. Sometimes you can lose a phone months in a row, right?
Yeah.
You know, and it really affected your budget, like in a serious way. Because when you lose a credit, you have to prioritize it because you can't stay without a phone.
Exactly.
Or when you lose because you can't stay without a phone, you have to borrow money and get it immediately, replace it, right? So it was a bad habit. So no one now and you know, those are little things that you want some balance. I'm always chasing a payday.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, you lose phone, comes so lose some more, so and when you how company do it, it just becomes a lot of money in a year.
Yeah.
You know.
These are the financial setbacks I was talking about. So you can imagine if maybe you're trying to put money aside for deposit and you keep having to tap into those savings to replace a phone.
A laptop or...
You see, these are the financial setbacks I'm talking about. And these are some of the things that your insurer can take care of for you so you don't have to completely lose.
Yeah. And we don't think too hard about these things, huh? Yeah, you look at, I mean, people like nice gadgets. I mean, an iPhone will set you back about my 13K to my 20-something K, right? and then you'll have Mac the laptop.
Yeah, MacBook.
The MacBook, right?
Yeah.
You'll have a MacBook, learning will set back 13 to 20 something K, right? And then you have those how did you are like literally holding on to 50K.
Do you want to fit it paid?
Do you want to fit it paid?
Maybe longer we will car rental.
You see? So this one's it's a serious cost. You lose them. To replace them, most people they make in a year. And then recover. So it's what you're saying is that it's very important to make sure this type of stuff you pay a small premium.
Exactly.
And somebody takes care of it.
Yeah.
So there are some myths say about insurance what are some of them say about no, these are actually myths. This is not reality.
I think a common myth insurance that one is common. I used to hear that one every time a client would get upset. That's the first thing. And I'm like, honestly, nobody can cheat you. Your policy is there to protect you.
Yes.
Right? So if you feel like, hey, policies, the weddings that there's literally specific places you can go. Check your defined events. Straight up what's covered. In your policy, you have exclusions. Those things are excluded. But when go straight to the figures, go look for my car. I'm insured. Well, when excess me,
yes.
Right? So just to briefly say, excess is just your share of the claim.
Yeah.
Right? So that's another thing that you really need to know, because that's where clients really fight as well. They'll start saying, excess, or maybe they did explain, but then the client just didn't understand.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of things. Just open your policy, check it. What's covered, what's excluded, my sum insured, and my excess. Those are the things that are really, really important that you need to know.
Yeah.
And no one can cheat you. For as long as you have that document, they cannot cheat you. And then another thing, there's the regulator. NBFIRA will protect you. If you feel like you're not being treated fairly, before you run to the lawyer, this is a mistake a lot of people used to make. The first thing they do is go to their lawyers. Before you even spend money on a lawyer, just go to NBFIRA and ask for advice. They will help you. So no one can cheat you, even if you don't understand. Another thing is, if you feel don't insure direct. Get a broker.
Yeah.
Get someone you trust. Get an agent. Get someone who sit down with you and explain everything nicely to you. So I think that's a common myth that I really want to just tell people, let's let go of this notion. People are trying to steal from you. Nobody's trying to steal from you.
Yeah.
I actually had an incident that I actually spoke about on my channel as well, where I had an investment account and I genuinely felt robbed. I was ready to join Klaboya. And then you go and you check and it's written in black and white, T's and C's. And it's like, but it's also my responsibility to understand the product that I am buying. So no one can cheat you. And if I really felt strongly about that, you just go to the regulator. Yeah.
And it's funny, people don't know. How we talk about strategy. We join a party these people NBFIRA is so hard on insurance companies.
Very strict,
people don't know that. That's so hard. So if you have any license with NBFIRA, you just know if somebody goes there, question to an extent, that person has a right. You are allowance okay. We're now insurance, you were wrong because you failed to explain. To that extent.
Yeah.
No, you failed to explain to the client. That's why the client is complaining. If you had explained, the client wouldn't be complaining.
Yeah.
Which comes across sometimes as a bit unfair to insurance companies because now what they really try to explain. But you know, people are people. Now you know, a lot of people don't really want to hear what you are telling them, all the advice. They don't have time for that.
No one ever has time.
Yeah. Until I had somebody alone. That's when they will say, and
it's been so long.
But I remember you were so excited when I was telling you these things and you said you totally understand. But when you just wanted to get to the last page where you pen your signature and then media release you, right? Normally consumers are like that. But more Botswana, I think NBFIRA is coming from you know, a point of view Ghana, they understand that our people are not that literate when it comes to issues of finance, right? Which is why the protection is too much. But if you go to other countries, it's different. People don't wait for agents to come to their doors to sell insurance. People reach out to insurance companies and say, I need a life cover. I need car insurance. I need this. That's how literate those people are. But Botswana, we still have that system. We are not there yet, where a client starts working and then the first thing they do is to pick up the phone, call an insurance company and say, hi, my name is Yana. I just got employed. I'm earning 20K. You know, I was thinking about getting a personal line on this. I was thinking about getting this. I was thinking about life insurance. You know, so Botswana, you know, anyone needs to know NBFIRA has got that back. If they feel there has been any injustice, not to use the system. You know, the what you were speaking about, this. You are going to be charged this and this and this and this and this. Instead of taking responsibility, I did not do my part.
And I think with that you also have to be very careful. Because you can get yourself in trouble and end up in jail actually, because and if we detect any fraud, side of the insurers now, detect any fraud, we can take you to CID. So you have to be very careful. Don't defraud the insurers, or don't be finding hell, you know. So I think there's always parties to protect everyone.
But I think, don't you think it would be wise, you know, to record our conversations with clients? I mean, banks do that.
Very interesting.
You know, banks do that through their contact center. When you call, they record the conversation,
and they let you know also how we're recording because of 1, 2, 3.
So as they take you through the advice, this is how the savings account works, blah 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 blah. Because I used to be in banking, and you know clients are weird. So
what about in-person sales now? You're just gonna put a recorder, like, okay.
That's what I'm actually thinking right now, to say, look, why also take a recorder or say for your protection, right? And we are going to record this conversation, right? Ibile ke tate ke share le wena, so that ha ile gore gona le sengwe se sa se tlhaloganya o boele ko recording abo ya go dira. Because normally when we do our sales online virtually, like mobile teams and stuff, we record. You know, you just tell the client, I'll be recording our session. I get it. Then you record the session. After the session, you share with the client. Come so a client data bare how I sent. You don't remember. You have to go back to the recording and say,
check
I
have a question for you now. One of the principles of insurance is good faith. So why basically just we're removing that one now. Everything is done in good faith. Insurance.
I know, but the thing about good faith, most of the it doesn't work for the provider of the service. It works for the client.
I could hope we're gonna turn around again and be like, the client's always right. Do you see where we're going with this?
Yeah.
It's a challenging one to kind of
it's very tricky.
Decode, if I can say.
Privacy, some
there's
people might
so
feel,
many things.
where
Yeah.
are you taking my information? And stuff like that.
And you do need people's private information as well.
Yeah.
Because they will complete the KYC and such. They will be plot number, salary, source of funds. There's just so much that goes into the conversation as well. So I don't know. Ideally, honestly, in a perfect world, if it was up to me, everything would be recorded and there would be cameras everywhere. In a perfect world.
Yeah.
But I don't know how consumers would take that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But maybe re punish thata. Because this is something that is already been. I agree, banks, they sell insurance.
Yeah, most of them have like a brokerage, yeah.
Yeah, and they do that through their contact centers. And contact centers, they record all the conversations, right?
So you feel like it's the same thing?
It's the same thing. So if they're doing insurance in that way, they're doing loans and other things in that way, then
okay, I think for now, let's put it like this. Let's put it like this for now. It is entirely our responsibility as consumers to understand the product that we are buying. That's number one. Number two, I'll give an example. When the client, let's say, is on a monthly payment, the accounts are not being debited every month. Therefore, you are not paying your premium. And then you come after 6 months or a while claim, and then you're told, no, you can't claim because we have not received your... Oh my Lord, this is distracting. Sorry. Okay, sorry, yeah. So you're told that you can't...
Yeah.
I can't.
No,
okay.
Just set it up.
It's off though. I don't know how to use this. Can I just give it to you? Sorry. Okay, so I'm just going to start that section from the beginning. Okay, so I was saying I'm going to give an example with when a client can see that the account is not being debited every single month. After 6 months of no debits, they come and say, we want to claim, right? But you can't claim because you have not been paying premium. So your policy is not active, right? It's your responsibility. You can't be like, no, hala deductor might. You saw that it wasn't being debited, right? So reach out to your insurer just to make sure you don't run into any problems so that you don't turn around and then say, just avoid drama.
No, that's true.
Understand your product.
Yeah.
If you're on a monthly policy, make sure you are seeing that debit every single month so you know you are paying for your premiums every single month. Yeah, so I think I would leave it at that for now. And then let's see if we can get into... Can I say first world kind of nice life problems where everything is being recorded. But for now, familiarize yourself with every single product.
So that would be the advice that we give a client, right? We want them to get to that point where, kind of that point that you are speaking about, where you see that your monthly deductions are not being made, and then you are the one who goes to report that, right? That's another level of financial literacy, right? That's another level, but that's what you do, right? That's what you do.
I actually do that, I get stressed out. If I don't see it, I call immediately. I call and say, guys, my dear Lord, Ibla won't touch my money.
Yes.
Because that's how you make them. These are the financial setbacks that Rubanka's on. What my idea was supposed to go to your insurance. Now you're 2 months behind. Next month you're on my email. You keep doing this for a little while, next thing you're in trouble. So
this goes back to the advice that you gave earlier. To say people need to track their expenses. You need to look at your bank statement. You know, and sometimes they're telling the truth, right? I didn't realize that you guys were not deducting. Like maybe you are making a bit more money, and your monthly premium it's quite little, right? How like an bank charge. So you know, everyone is like, so you kind of like assume everyone was able to deduct because nobody has called you to say we failed. So you rely on them
Yeah.
to tell you, because you've got like so many and you can't be the one calling everyone. And you are telling the truth when you are saying you did not know that you were not deducting for the past 6 months. Even though you are telling the truth, it's irresponsible for you to assume that other people will manage your account for you, right?
Yeah.
So how people need to track their expenses on a monthly basis without fail. You would have been able to see what my funeral cover, it's supposed to be 130. I'm not seeing it here. You look again, and then you call them, guys, did you deduct? Oh, you can imagine imagine our insurance thing, how many they collect in a month.
And they also they get a list.
Yes.
Right? So they might not even notice home. And the following month when they get a list, the previous month, please follow up these payments.
Yes.
By then when you've already come in for a claim and your claim has been rejected.
Yes.
So I think it's important for everyone to track their finances. But do you know what advice I would give, especially to people that have a lot of deductions? Do annual. It's just easier. Just pay everything annually
if you can afford.
If you can, but also this is what I do. I put money aside monthly. I just put money in my savings every month. And then I just swipe the whole amount. But again, some people ban a big portfolios, so it might not work for everyone. But if you can, I would say opt for annual, because it's just easier to really just, so you don't have to keep checking every single month. Anyway.
No, that's actually good advice. But I think at the end of the day, what you are basically saying is that we need to be responsible for our own finances. I'm not going to be responsible for your finances, right? I've got my own problems.
Yeah.
So if you don't check, it's so bad that batho ba o manya le dikolo, why does Santeletse gore ga ke a duela school fees? Like, dude.
No say it's bana ba tsena school.
Roman na sengwe le sengwe. You missed your loan payments or our mana. You missed your medical payments or our mana. I used to be on the other side of the table, customer service consultant. Ke duela di claim. That's a horrible job. Yo.
I enjoyed working in claims.
I used to do that. The fun part about that job is when you're actually paying a claim.
Yeah.
That's the fun part. And they look at you like you are God. You really help them. You are a Messiah. Sometimes I'm going to your credit life, because Sonny they were in millions. Let's on the funeral cover, duela 25,000, 50,000. People got so excited. A whole family claim like
yeah.
But waiting room
No,
I don't know. Normally what they will do, they claim. Maybe
yeah.
Right? And then
Yeah, dependent.
Yes. And then we tell you now how come the family doesn't trust Rakhai.
So they go with
them. So they go with. And normally when they go, a funeral, and I get everywhere.
Yes.
So we tell you there is no time to like prepare to go for insurance. I was working so okay. More regioning central so it's funeral corner to corner. So happy where people actually clean up to go to the mall.
Yeah.
So that waiting room, it was a very, very small waiting room, So how about a family one and then
right.
So when you give them the 25,000, the excitement is too much. And then sometimes when they come in, they give you the documents. You look at the documents, you go into the system. You see arrears. You look at them. Sometimes you take a breather. You go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then you breathe.
You literally, I used to stare myself in the mirror and go, Because you know what, you want to be empathetic, but you're also an employee.
Exactly.
It's so hard.
Exactly.
It's
you
really,
don't just
really
say,
yeah, it's actually it's a hard thing to do, honestly. Is not the easiest thing to do. So that's another thing that I would say people should know. Yeah. Even us on the other side, we don't actually want to not help you.
We don't like it. We
don't.
Yeah, we like to pay.
When I worked in short term, my employer would always say, we look for reasons to pay your claim.
Exactly.
We're not looking for reasons not to pay. We're looking for reasons. Sometimes it's a little bit sketchy, but you're trying to find, okay, how can I help this client right now? So it's actually not nice. I hope they're not sitting on the other side thinking repudiate. No, we don't actually want to do that.
Point, people think when they're dealing with insurance companies, they're dealing with thieves. They don't know that. They don't know that insurance companies actually like to pay.
They like to pay because it keeps their reputation up.
It keeps their reputation up. And la hoka bala go nna tso bona di ede hale ba ipoka gore twetse claims tsa bokana. Because forget about, people think insurance companies, they lose money when they pay. They don't, maybe just explain that gore kana le bone they also insure the money that they have promised you.
So what happens is they're basically managing a pool of funds. So as Rona, the customers who are contributing to this pool, right? And you can imagine if, I'll give an example, basic car, let's say Wits, maybe let's say 350 a month.
Yeah.
You can imagine 350 a month to insure Wits, maybe let's say 30,000. I'm just giving a rough estimate, right?
Yeah.
And if Goleye gets a write-off and you are being paid market value, I think, let's say 30,000 or minus excess. But when you've only paid 350, and you can imagine you can claim as soon as your policy is closed, stamped, everything. So let's say you had only taken out your first 350. So once you say 350 pool, but you are claiming 30,000 pool. Where is that 30,000 coming from when you have only paid 350? Yeah. So that's the pool I'm talking about. All of us are contributing towards that pool.
It's a blessing.
Yeah. So we're contributing towards that pool. What the insurers then do, they take that money and they actually invest the money and make it grow so that they can carry on paying your claims.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's fund management. And then I was going to do a claim. They go to a reinsurer and make a claim.
I mean, it depends. I get how big the risk is.
Yes, how big the risk is. So I know maybe your life covers where you pay like $1 million, $2 million. You also insure the risk. So it's not like you are paying, even though you can afford to pay, you will pay, but you still recover a bit of money because everyone needs to manage risk. Even reinsurers, they have a way of managing the risks that they have in their book. Or they have assets. They also have that book. So they need to manage because na kongwa ke re khona go diragala go khona go nna terrible ya la go nna batho ba di accident or something like that. So when that happens, you can shut down if you are not ready because like ono bua on motho ntsha 250 no claim 30,000 40,000 immediately hela go the police ya go active, right? So if more people are going to come and claim, right? So yeah, I love the principle of insurance, but I really love paying. I love paying people. I hated not paying people.
No, paying people is nice. Even the smile on their face, the whole thing.
It was a bad thing, and there were days, really bad days when, like, in that day, everyone is defaulted. Like everyone who comes to make a claim, they have defaulted, and is it the default? Say what? Because we used to, do a lot of discretionary payments. Where you go, to your manager and say, look, this person, they have missed here, but they have been good for so long. Can we pay? And then a discussion is made, and then you pay. But I want to know gore kora gona mo go buelelwang wa bana motho o togetse batho ka policy document o re le batho ba ye go claim kana kwa gore ba tona la ngwaga se dwe o sala chaisitse so yeah yana this topic, it's very dear to us, Mama Sheleng. Because we see a lot of our people ba sokola tota ka dikgang tsa madi le go di tlhaloganya, and I think you guys are doing a really good job educating. We need to reach out to as many people as possible. Share our stories. I like that you share your story. I also like to share my story. You should read my book, Masheleng. It's basically my story of horrible decisions over and over, because people think that financial advisors are those perfect people who've never made mistakes. Even today, I can't tell you that I don't make mistakes. I still make mistakes, but we continually learn. So that at least the poster to know that you are actually making mistake, right? And then you decide whether you are going to continue doing it or not. But how easy, that's the sad part,
right?
When you don't know that this is bad what I'm doing.
That's and I think a lot of people get in trouble not knowing. I'll give you an example. I remember when I went to buy a house, I had been saying for years, I'm going to get life cover. I'm going to get life cover. I'm going to get life cover. And then I was like, I'll get it just before I buy my house. Then I get to the bank and they told me that it was too late. They said they only accept life cover that's been active for over a year.
Yeah.
That's what they said to me.
Yeah.
So they then had to organize it for me. And you imagine how expensive that was. And then I had to pay, was it not 30-something thousand?
Yeah.
The
credit life.
Yeah.
So
and I didn't know that at all. It's just something I just didn't know. So I was thinking, had I known, I would have long gotten my life cover. Or had I known to just keep that money aside, then it wouldn't be such a big surprise. Because imagine last minute, Hannah, this big cost is falling on you. You're like, this is very challenging. So I think it's really important. It's a very large topic. We can sit here and talk for a very long time, and we'll tap into each section of insurance or each section of personal finance. It's a large topic, but the main thing is your life is absolutely your responsibility.
Absolutely. Yana, your parting words, and then also tell our viewers when they want to reach out to you, your educational series,
Okay. So I would say love yourself, number one. Take care of yourself. Okay? And lastly, money actually does matter. I wanna reiterate this because I feel like some of us were raised not knowing the importance of money. Money is important. It matters. It will get you places and it will help you achieve your goals. It's important. So please make sure you take your money matters very serious. My YouTube channel, Boss Up with Yana. I am sharing my personal development journey. I am in no way calling myself a professional or a connoisseur of money or anything like that. I am just a lady who's passionate and is willing to share with people that are willing to come on the journey with me. So please do give it a follow, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and engage. I like when people engage because I learn so much from the comments. So please do watch the videos, comment, share your story with me. I love reading people's stories. I like learning from people as well as trying to give people what I've learned as well. Available also on Instagram. It is Tatiana Maguku on Instagram. I answer a lot of questions there. I welcome people to just go in my DM and ask me anything. I really just love to help people. I think the main thing here is to just really help people. So follow me on there as well.
All right. Tatiana, thank you so much for joining us, Mama Shelley.
Thank you. I hope you guys call me back. I had a good time.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for watching. If you want to engage with us or for collaboration, reach us at the Masheleng Magazine on Facebook or Ignite Wealth, or call 39500-26, 39500-26. See you on the next episode.
Hi, I have a free gift for you. If you want to claim this gift, go to www.masheleng.online/gift. In this gift, you will learn how to become financially free in 5 years or less.